Hey everybody, today we're sharing practical advice to help you use the work that you're doing to make more impact and improve the world. Today we have Jonathan, winner of The Apprentice Asia and director of JY Consultancy and Ventures. And we're going to be talking a little bit about gaining visibility at work. Jonathan, I'll pass it right over to you to introduce yourself again.
Thank you so much, Zach. Hi, everyone. This is Jonathan. So a few years ago, I joined a reality TV show that was started in the United States. That's The Apprentice. They created a version of The Apprentice Asia, and yours truly bested a few candidates in my continent. And after having won the show, I decided to also set up my own consultancy firm. That's the JY Consultancy and Ventures. So we are a consultancy firm that manages marketing and at the same time talent management. So our expertise is on career progression, being able to boost your confidence at work, and of course, right up our alley, being able to increase your visibility at work as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that takes me to the first question I've got for you. Why does visibility at work even matter?
Very good question. And I think this is something that's so much taken for granted by a lot of employees and even entrepreneurs. So one of my favorite theories in psychology is what they call as the illusion of transparency. It's the belief of every individual that we think that the people around us have a clear idea of what's inside their minds. When in fact, most of the time, people don't, because either they're too busy, they're absorbed about themselves, and the social media makes the world very cluttered these days. And so visibility is all about admitting the fact that no matter how good you perform, you need to also make sure that people are aware of your achievements in order for them to appreciate that you are contributing in the company. Because most of the time, and I always say this to my clients, no matter how good you are, if not everyone knows that you are the rock star, and I'm talking about HR, the managers, the decision makers who will say, yes, he deserves to get promoted. If they don't know you, all of your achievements can be useless as well. I mean, this is not to say that your efforts are not going to be appreciated, but it matters also to create a stage when people know who you are.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. You got it. Michael Jordan, for example, I'm watching The Last Dance, right? He's the greatest player and he showed it, but he also got the visibility. So what are some practical ways to actually gain that visibility at work?
Mhm. The first thing I always, this is the easiest thing, and I hope you guys can immediately practice this. Your communication must be spread across different types of channels. Simple things such as, for example, if you're based in a store and let's say your mode of communication is via email, it matters to know where other things are also happening. Are there WhatsApp groups out there that involve your other colleagues or your managers? Is there, like today when we're all working from home, how many Zoom meetings have you attended or you think you are invited, so that you're always looped into what's happening? And this is where I always say you have to spread yourself as generously like butter on toasted bread, because the more you expand your networks, the more you can increase your opportunity that you can, hey, can I volunteer in this project? Hey, these are my set skills. How can I improve them? Or simple things such as, you don't want your manager to be the only one monopolizing your learnings. It would be nice to also learn something from another mentor, another senior in another department, and you only get these things if you get to nudge or you get to be exposed to someone else.
Yeah. Now, I love in some of your content, you talk about, finding ways to serve your peers or to volunteer for those projects. And I think those are great advice. Just, hey, I want to get to know someone else, so raise my hand, I'll jump into this project, right?
That's right. And I just want to add, when it comes to, let's say, learning a new set of skills, you don't only ask this going to be the one who will ultimately influence your career path, but we also have other opportunities made available, let's say, for example, by HR. And just the simple knowing who the folks are in your human resources department, or let's say, for example, you might want to learn a new set of skills that your peers in your team can't offer. Just the idea of knowing that another senior member in another department can offer that to you, because probably they're looking for a protege, that's an opportunity for you to expand your skills as well.
Yeah. Well, how do you balance, now that you're starting to gain some visibility and you understand why it's important, how do you balance being visible but not hogging the spotlight and looking like the person that's got to be me?
I love that. I was expecting this question. So if I were to create a spectrum, there's a spectrum of tooting your horns or spreading your wings like a peacock as if you were an arrogant guy. And then there's also the other part of the spectrum wherein you understand that not everyone may appreciate what you do, but it's also good to celebrate victories from time to time. And I always tell this, when you celebrate victory, don't just use the words I. It's to choose words such as we or our, for example. So if you've done a great project, even if you're the one leading it, you can easily say, hey guys, I finally did it. But it also may be pleasing to the ears to say, we did it, or it's our victory. And that's when you acknowledge that your victory is also the victory of other members of the team. That's when you acknowledge, I'd like to thank Peter or Anna because they were also very pivotal for the success of this project. So you get to do two things at the same time. You get to make yourself more visible out there, but you also appreciate other colleagues who likely can be the sponsors and would be vouching for, yep, I know Jonathan, he was that guy I worked with in the past. And these small anecdotes matter because at the promotion table, that day when you are being deliberated whether you should be promoted or not, believe it or not, anecdotes are the ones that can pull the strings. That one morning when they met you and they tell the story of how you talked to them, that one email where you shared a great idea, for example, those are small anecdotes that can add more points for you to get promoted if you want to do that.
Yeah. I didn't really plan out for this question, but you're just kind of leading me to it. So would you say that it's not really possible for a person to get promoted on their own, that it takes kind of a team to help get you there?
Mm-hmm. So this is where politics happen. And this is where I always tell folks, you have to admit the fact that politics exists everywhere. So politics is just a matter of trying to get that amount of power in favor of your interests. What politics is, objectively speaking. And the bigger your organization is, and this is scientifically proven in a lot of organizational behavior studies, the bigger your organization is, the more processes will there be out there that stack up against you that will drown you, which may not be in your favor. So when I say that you need the help of other people in order for you to get promoted, just like in the movie Hunger Games, you're going to be needing sponsors who may not always be there, but during those moments when they've spotted those flashes of brilliance, they're going to vouch and say, yes, I saw that guy in one meeting and he shared brilliant ideas. Or again, if there was one project or a meeting where you volunteered something and they saw you, that can be another shimmer of brilliance that they can say, yes, I saw that guy. This is not to say that we only judge people based on those moments that we saw them. The problem with the world is last impressions and first impressions may be bad, but they are impressions that do matter. Yeah. And so milk it. In the time of the pandemic, for example, we're going to have more limited exposures to people. So that one exposure that you got with a VIP or a management senior member may be the last exposure you can get for a few months.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Exposure matters, getting those sponsors. So any last pieces of advice you give to the group on visibility?
The other one would be, I have this like meme that I post on my social media, and that's where I say, excellent employees, successful employees don't just comply, they contribute. So complying is just meeting the bare minimum of what's being asked from you. And that's what average employees are made of. So these are employees wherein, what matters to you is you clock in at 8 a.m., you get out by 5 p.m., and that's fine. I'm not going to judge you if that's the kind of lifestyle that you want. Yeah. However, if you're complaining that nothing's happening to you, you might want to ask yourself, am I simply complying or am I contributing beyond what's being asked from me? Because at the end of the day, is also going to be, there are only a few limited slots that can be taken in if you want to advance. And the only way for you to get that limited slot is to stand out from the crowd. So don't just comply, contribute. There are moments wherein if the project is already done, you might want to ask, hey, is there anything else that you'd like me to do? Or if you saw a brilliant idea that was raised by a customer, don't just keep it to yourself. You might want to share it as a best practice to the rest of the team. And those small moments, again, are those moments where they will remember you when the moment matters that you're being deliberated for the next step.
Yeah, I love that. That's very simple. Don't just comply, contribute. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some advice. Where can people find you if they want to learn more?
Thanks for sharing that. So I'm available online, my Instagram, Facebook. That's Jonathan Yabut, Yabut. So my social media pages share career content about getting promoted, speaking confidently at work, or simply doing a one-on-one session with your manager and why that matters consistently, for example.
Yeah, it's great content and I follow it. So thank you so much.
Thank
And
you, Zach.
yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Enjoy. Yep. Enjoy your weekend as well. Stay safe.
Thanks.